They're the Alamo Bowl champions, a team that finished last season on a 7-game winning streak. But the desert has seen winds of change. The Arizona Wildcats are now in the Big 12, and they have a new head coach in Brent Brennan.
It's always about the players.
He's exactly the coach that we need at exactly the right point in time.
Super genuine, such a great guy.
Returning are the quarterback-wide receiver duo of Noah Fafita and Teteroa McMillan.
Not too many people would make the decision that we did.
This is a really special group of young people.
They've reloaded through the transfer portal and brought in familiar faces on the coaching staff. It's time to bear down. Arizona football, a new chapter. And welcome to Arizona football, a new chapter. I'm KGUN 9's Jason Barr. During this digital special, my colleagues and I will preview the upcoming season, the Wildcats first in the Big 12. Reporter Craig Fouie went one-on-one with new head coach Brent Brennan. He started by asking Brennan about being selected to finish 5th in the new 16-team conference.
Do you take any stock in any of that stuff?
No, preseason rankings mean nothing. They really do, and so, I've picked high and finished low, and I've been picked low and finished high, and everything in between. So, it's I think we got a great special group of kids on this team, great players, great people. They really care about each other, and I do like the chances for us to play good football in this conference in the fall.
There's been a lot of talk about the venues, new, different than the Pac-12, right? Yeah. This is all rabid fans, just committed to their team. You looking forward to that?
I can't wait, and our team will be excited too. But also, you think about the area of this country where there's a lot, where a big footprint of this conference is, and just how that area of the country feels about football in general. So it's exciting to be part of it.
And as a coach, that opens up some recruiting avenues too, right? When you're playing at different venues across the country.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it opens up some new markets and some big talent pools that obviously we're going to do, a great job of attacking.
How's it been so far?
It's been busy, to say the least, but it's fun. It's been fun. That's the easiest way to say it. It's been a lot of fun. Great people. The team has been fantastic. I'm really excited about the coaching staff and really just looking forward to getting the thing started.
Arizona football has a new slogan this season, Red Line. Here's how Brennan describes it.
Our buzzword, our battle cry for just how we're going to define a couple parts of our program, our effort, our execution, and our accountability.
We're going to be accountable and we're going to execute. So that's just kind of the mentality Coach Brennan's given this team. That's how we want to be defined.
Like Noah said, 100 all the time. And we're going to hold each other accountable, and we're just going to get after it every time.
Noah Fafita returns as starting quarterback, this after breaking the program record last season for completion percentage. Fafita connected on 72.4% of his passes last season. He became the starter in Week 5. He threw 25 touchdown passes and had just 6 interceptions. Fafita also threw for a Territorial Cup record 527 yards against ASU. For his accomplishments, Fafita was named the Pac-12 Offensive Freshman of the Year. 2 new members of the backfield are already feeling his leadership.
Every time I see him, call him captain because every time he talks, people just listen. Like, no matter what he says, people listen. And people, naturally just follow behind Noah. And, he's just a great leader. And, he's so respectful in the community and other things. He's a good person.
He's, a field general. He's really smart, so that just make the game 10 times. If he wants you to do something, he'll tell you. And he's just a great quarterback and just a good guy to be around.
And of course, his former Servite High School teammate, wide receiver Teteroa McMillan. T-Mac has a couple of preseason first-team All-America accolades, this after his 1,400-yard receiving season last year. McMillan has a chance to become the program's all-time leading receiver in just his junior season. Just about every school in the country wanted him in the offseason, so here's T-Mac on why he chose to stay at Arizona after former head coach Jedd Fisch left for Washington.
Just, the culture that we already set over there and the people involved in the program, the community, the fans, but also the legacy that we already had built over there. We don't want to just be known as the people that just up and left. We want to be the reason why Arizona program turned around. The reason why we bring light to Tucson again. So just continuing that legacy that we built.
That's a pretty mature decision by a lot of guys, though.
Yeah, no, I would think so, but no, I would definitely think so. You know, in this day and age with how college football is going now, not too many people would make the decision that we did, and that just goes to show that our character. We want to be different. We want to change the narrative. We want to go against what everybody else does. We trying to not take the easiest road, but make it harder or challenging for ourselves.
I'm Pat Paris. At the heart of the 2024 Arizona Wildcats football team are 4 players from Servite High School in California. They came into Arizona together, and they stayed together even after Jed Fish left for Washington.
It's a blessing. I'm enjoying every day with those guys. I get to come in here and work.
Tight end KGUN Burnett is describing the feeling of playing with his Servite teammates, quarterback Noah Fafita, wide receiver Tedaro McMillan, and linebacker Jacob Manu.
But we're always pushing each other. We always have been since even 8th, 7th, 8th grade.
Also pushing Burnett, his desire to make his father proud. Chester Burnett was a standout linebacker for Arizona from 1995 to 1997 under head coach Dick Tomey and defensive coordinator Dwayne Aquina.
Yeah, just to be here and to be following in his footsteps on the same field, in the same city, same stadium. Is something I don't take for granted, and I really enjoy it.
Key, as his teammates call him, also enjoys the back and forth with his dad over which Wildcat team was better, Chester's late 90s teams or Key's 2023 team that won 10 games and finished number 11 in the country.
We always kind of have a rivalry we joke about back and forth of whose team would win, of course, and he's never given me the nod, but I think deep down he knows. The game has changed a lot.
KGUN's now looking ahead to the 2024 season. No longer behind standout tight end Tanner McLaughlin, this could be a breakout season for the junior, but it's the team with a quartet of Servite alumni that he's truly focused on.
The 2024 season for the Wildcats will be a success. I would say when we learn how to play together and to love one another and to really play for one another.
I'm Blake Phillips here at the University of Arizona. The big question with U of A football this year, that offensive line and who's going to protect Noah Fafita.
Arizona football's offensive line was one of the strongest assets last year, and new offensive coordinator Dino Babers says the guys they have this year are going to be key to that success again.
Everybody used to call the offensive linemen hogs. I said, well, our offensive linemen are not hogs, they're elephants.
Arizona has elephants and also has a rhino, as in Rhino Tapatotai. That's who they're going to need to replace Jordan Morgan after head coach Brent Brennan said Raymond Polito is unavailable for the whole season. So plan B is that big rhino, pushing the redshirt freshman into arguably one of the most important positions and the biggest shoes to fill on the field.
I'm just trying to do my job, not to overthink it, just the next man up.
Morgan was first team All Pac-12 last year, the Packers taking notice, drafting him 25th overall in the NFL draft. Rhino hasn't played a single snap of college football just yet, but spent his entire redshirt freshman year learning from Jordan Morgan.
It's just more perspective, to help me up my game.
Helping out Rhino on the line, the other big beasts up front, including center Josh Baker, guard Wendell Moe, and right tackle Big Jonah Savanea. And for those veterans, they're already impressed by what Rhino has shown in camp.
Rhino's got good feet, good hands, that get off the ball.
I love his attitude, and it's just toughness. No matter what, he could be dying, but he's there with us.
Under Babers, expectations with the offense are going to be high.
How would you describe the offense that Coach Babers is wanting to run?
Nasty. Nasty.
And the herd is ready to do its stomping at Arizona Stadium.
So the elephants are the king of the jungle, and as they go, we go.
I'm Blake Phillips, KGUN 9.
It's a homecoming for wide receivers coach Bobby Wade. Wade is the program's all-time leader in receiving yards, a mark that may not last much longer. It's not the first time Bobby Wade has shown the proper technique at Arizona Stadium. During a time when head coach Brent Brennan was a Wildcat graduate assistant, Wade's techniques helped him become the Wildcats' all-time leader in receiving yards.
Some of my favorite football. I enjoyed the locker room and the friends and the relationships that I made here.
A fifth-round draft pick by the Chicago Bears, Wade enjoyed a 7-year career in the NFL.
that experience is it's one of a kind.
It was then on to coaching. The Phoenix native spent the past 5 seasons at rival ASU.
It was different. It was difficult, especially because you had played. You know, we put so much into it and your playing time, but obviously the further you get away from when you went to school here, the easier it is.
But when Brent Brennan returned to Arizona, he brought Wade with him. And Wade inherits a talented group of receivers that includes Teteroa McMillan, who's coming off a 1,400-yard season.
Awesome player. You know, it's just special talent. He's a one-of-a-kind talent that, you know, you don't see it often.
Ironically, Wade will be coaching McMillan to break his program receiving record. T-Mac is listening carefully to his new position coach who played in the NFL. Wade's career has come full circle. He lived in the dorms just a stone's throw from Arizona Stadium, and he's now back coaching at his alma mater.
I'm in it with him. You know, we all share the same sentiment for the school. When we're all done, whether we're coaching or playing here, it'll feel the same.
The Arizona football weight room is empty. Most have gone home for the night.
Warm up.
But running backs coach Alonzo Carter is just getting started.
Get my peace of mind, cut my music on and go for a walk.
A 5-mile walk a few times a week. Carter calls it 5 Alive. He started during the pandemic and revived it earlier this year.
Healthy heart, healthy mind. That's a real thing.
I decided to walk with him.
Green button?
Yeah, okay. To walk a mile in his shoes.
I'm living my dream.
Carter followed head coach Brent Brennan to the U of A from San Jose State. He grew up across the bay in Oakland, California, and his story is too legit to quit. Carter was a backup dancer and lead choreographer for hip-hop icon MC Hammer. They went on tour together.
As a 17-year-old dad, that helped change my life.
More than 30 years later, he and Hammer are still close.
You'll see him at some games this fall, so get ready. And everything I learned from him, I just poured it into coaching.
Carter wanted to give high school kids the same opportunity to live out a dream. So he went back to his alma mater to start coaching football. Today, that drive makes him one of the Wildcats' top recruiters.
I always ask, give me the inner city. I want to go change lives. I want to touch people's lives.
And he's motivating the players already here.
We want to challenge them and take them to the next level.
It's no favoritism with Coach Carter. You don't get his best every day. We have to give him our best.
He just wants you to be like the best person, the best player you can be on the field.
But Carter also wants to motivate non-athletes to take positive steps.
I hope this video inspires somebody, because I love when you guys inspire me. I had a lot of people just telling me how they were struggling with whether it be diabetes or high blood pressure or obesity itself, just wanting to lose weight. And I like showing myself, trying to get that work, showing them if I can do it, I know you can do it.
Health is wealth.
Health is wealth is the main thing.
With a mind to rhyme and 2 hyped feet, Carter is grateful for his journey and for something as simple as these walks.
It gives me a reminder of where I came from and where I'm trying to go, because one day I'm gonna be a head coach. You got it first.
Until then, he keeps moving forward one step at a time. At the U of A, Ryan Fish, KGUN 9.
I'm Aaron Patterson. It's here at Arizona Stadium. Star running back Ja'Cory Crosby Merritt has decided to play his final season of college football. Now, heading into the beginning of this season, Crosby Merritt is going to be seeing some familiar faces, as the first game is against his former team, the New Mexico Lobos.
Ja'Cory, if you've been at practice, you kind of can see he's special.
Ja'Cory Crosby Merritt, the University of New Mexico transfer, was one of the first players added to Arizona's roster after Brent Brennan's hiring.
I just felt like it was a great fit, and this is where I needed to be.
In April, the Alabama native left for Ole Miss to be closer to home. However, 2 months after that, Crosby Merritt rejoined the Wildcats.
I was already out west in New Mexico, so one more season wouldn't hurt, and I just feel like there was a great opportunity for me to help the team out.
And because of the Arizona running backs coach, Alonzo Carter, Crosby Merritt is still getting a little bit of home in Tucson.
He's from Montgomery, Alabama. My family's from Troy, Alabama, so I know what his background is. I know what he stands for.
To have somebody who's familiar with down south, got, family down south, and I'm just relating to me a little bit more, like on and off the field. It just feels great.
It's the Southern hospitality, coming to the Southwest.
Put your arm around them and love them and tell them we the same people that you said yes to back then. We're the same people when you visited us and you fell in love with Tucson, Arizona. But when it boils down to it, he's here now. We're focusing on the now. I love that kid. I love coaching that kid.
And the now starts for Krosky Merritt August 31st against his former team. At Arizona Stadium, Aaron Patterson, KGUN 9.
Offensive coordinator Dino Babers is back in the same role he had with the Wildcats between 1998 and 2000. I asked Babers about his return to Arizona Stadium. Did Coach Brennan reach out to you? Did you reach out to him? How did you reconnect when he came here and you had the opening in your career?
No, he reached out to me, and I came down. We had a conversation. The conversation sounded good to both of us, so we decided to do this thing. Coach B is somebody that is very, very dear to me, and I want to make sure he starts off on the right foot out here.
What are you most proud of when you look back at your time at Syracuse?
I think the biggest thing is we went to 2 bowl games back to back. It hadn't been done in a long time, even though I got let go before the team finished the accomplishment. But I thought we did it the right way, cleaned it up, had a lot of guys graduate. We had the highest graduation rate the year I got let go in the history of the football team. And yet we had a lot of guys make the National Football League as well. So I thought it was a balanced, well-run program. Just didn't win enough games, obviously.
When you come here, are you bringing your offense, or are you going to build an offense around the talent that's here?
You know, I think really good offensive coordinators have the ability to be flexible. And what I need to do is find out exactly what we're capable of doing and then try to do that to the best of our ability.
So what do you think of Teteroa McMillan? I mean, you got to be thrilled about being a coach and having that type of talent on the field. What are your thoughts on him and some of the other guys here?
I think not only him, but there's a lot of guys on this offensive unit that can do some things. And it all starts with the offensive line. If you have a great offensive line, then you have an opportunity. If you have a quarterback that can make plays, which we do, now you've got a chance, and then you've got a playmaker, whether that's in the backfield or wide receiver or tight end, some skilled guy with a chance to have the ball in his hands. You know, you got to find ways to get your Kobe Bryant the ball, no matter how many screens he's got to run through to get there.
Defensive coordinator Dwayne Aquino was a defensive analyst last season. He was the Wildcats' offensive coordinator during the mid-1990s, and his career goes back much further than that. Here is Dwayne Aquino in his own words.
I've seen it all from Pac-8 to Pac-10 to Pac-12. Like when I first started in, it was 2 backs in the backfield. There's a tight end, there was a receiver, and there was a receiver on the other end. And then all of a sudden, they put 2 receivers on the same side. It's like, whoa, that's revolutionary. How do you cover down that? But, you know, that's the nature of college football. You know, it's changing, and guys like myself that have been going on 43 years now, we got to be able to change with it. But still, do your job, doing the right things right, play with fanatical effort, being physical, and look for players that can hunt the football, that can change the momentum in the course of the game. Those things are time-tested. For me, it keeps me young because I'm around young players that have goals, keeps me stimulated mentally, you know, trying to solve the puzzle every week. Here we are. I'm getting ready to go work 7 days a week, as many as maybe 18 hours a day, and I'm excited about getting started. That's where how many people have an opportunity to really say that, you know.
Arizona is led on defense by first-team All-Pac-12 linebacker Jacob Manu. Manu led the Pac-12 with 116 total tackles a season ago. His preseason accolades include the Dick Butkus Award watch list and the Nagurski Trophy watch list as well. The Wildcats are also deep in the secondary. It was Dalton Johnson who caused the fumble in the Alamo Bowl that Gunnar Maldonado returned 87 yards for the touchdown that turned the momentum back Arizona's way. Here's Maldonado on changing conferences.
Yeah, I mean, it's sad to see the Pac-12 go, of course, but I think it's cool being a part of like that transition. I'll always be able to talk about that and hopefully set the standard for what's to come for Arizona and the Big 12. So.
Most exciting thing you're looking forward to?
Probably the new venues, playing at new stadiums, new fan bases, you know, building those rivalries with other schools. That's going to be really fun.
Back again, I'm Aaron Patterson here in studio with a breakdown of what Big 12 travel is going to look like for the Wildcats. Arizona football will have 5 road trips this season. 4 of them are conference games. Their first road game is Kansas State September 13th, but since that was scheduled prior to the conference change, it's not officially considered a Big 12 matchup. Now let's take a look at the week after. The Wildcats will travel to Utah on September 28th, flying about 601 air miles and about an hour 40-minute flight. Then October 12th, Arizona travels to BYU. This trip around 560 air miles with about an hour-and-a-half flight. 2 home games following BYU, and then it's the big one. November 2nd, the Wildcats will travel to the Sunshine State to take on Central Florida. About 1,784 air miles and almost a 4-hour flight. Now, in comparison to their longest conference travel last year to Washington State, that flight is only 2.5 hours. Now, moving to the end of the month, Arizona makes their final trip to Texas Christian November 23rd, which is around 813 air miles and just a little over a 2-hour flight. Going on those longer trips like UCF and TCU can take a toll on players, especially when you factor in time change. But head coach Brent Brennan is familiar. At San Jose State, his team traveled to Hawaii, almost a 5-hour flight. Here's what he had to say about keeping players focused on those long trips.
Try and go a day early and just kind of get them used to it, get them settled in with the time change a little bit. But at the end of the day, as a football team, are we going to allow that to be an excuse or not? And I think that's a choice you have to make as you prepare for those trips.
All right, that's a wrap for Arizona football, a new chapter. I'm KGUN 9's Jason Barr. We'll see you this season at Arizona Stadium.